Hey guys, Zell here from Deadbird Productions, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Suikoden style fortress. So first, dive right in and show you the fort, run around, show you some of the little features I'm going to show you how to make. Made the resolution bigger in the last update. It makes the title screen look so much cooler. Also added the options there, but this is a tutorial. So you can see right now I've got got 4 people in the party. I didn't mean to exit out. And you can also see that Kesa is not in the party, and she tells us, you know, hey, it would be safer if I traveled with you guys. I'm a healer after all. She actually has several different things. If you get injured out there, don't blame me. But so let's say we change party, and we'll swap her in for Relic. And you can see as soon as we swap her in, she disappears, joins our caterpillar, and follows us around. And if for some reason we were to change her back out, then she pops right back up. And I've got a lot of characters all over the fortress that do this. Right down here you can see recall, and I'll go talk to him first because it's kind of funny. If Tiro's in your party, because they're like homeboys, he actually says some extra stuff. He'll tell Tiro to take care. But yeah, these guys need some serious training, because there's going to be some NPCs here training. I just haven't got them in yet, so he's going to be out here training the scrubs if he's not in your active battle party. And swap him back in, and you can see now he's running around following us, disappears from right there. We're going to step in here. This is where all the vendors would be, but you gotta go recruit them. I'm not going to show you all the quests to recruit them. It's kind of your own thing, making those, but we are going to cheat and go through and activate all the additional characters that you can get. And you can see I got the upgrades vendor, item vendor. I need to separate these NPCs because that's overlapping and I don't like that one bit. But you can see now if you've got all those different switches on, then you have all these different vendors. And got our rune vendors up at the top here. But the next thing, apologize, big cough. If you go over here, this is the Tower of Records, and there's also 2 additional NPCs that I turned on while ago with all the shops. One of them, this guy is like your bestiary, and he shows you, it just shows you the enemy records, and it'll show you all the monsters that you've beaten once you've, got him and turned on the switch. And then this chick up here, she shows you a record of all the different items that you found, so that you can look through, and look at different items even if you don't have one, necessarily. Just as long as you've found one in the past. Also, these guys are all set up where they won't get in your way. Use some region restrictions. That's definitely a good idea, but I digress. The reason we came in here is because there's a teleporter and the big teleport crystal. The little teleporters, if you're going to have a fortress like this where the player's coming back and they're going to be using it a lot, you want to user-friendly it, and so you give them something like this where they can jump around to a bunch of the different areas, and you can see it just opens up a list of all the areas, and if we teleport to one, it displays an animation and teleports us over there. Also, this is kind of the last thing in the fortress. If you're going to have a bigger game like this where the player may sit it down, may come back, And I don't, you know, really in a lot of games, Final Fantasy VI did it, and a couple other games did it. I really like the idea of having like an informational area, and so I do it as like the Adventurers Guild. They do crafting. You see the crafting table and the codex vendor, and then they have informational NPCs. One of the requests I had was for a statistics NPC that just tells you about statistics. So this NPC just tells you about statistics, and I'm using the large choices. I gotta give a shout out. Drifty actually mentioned that when he was playing through Clarity's Edge, making that video, and I went and looked at it and added it in, and now I use it everywhere, so thank you very much, sir. It's awesome call. Yeah, these NPCs just show you just informational NPCs. Same thing up here, item upgrades. It's just a really good idea if people are going to be, you know, like I said, coming back, new players. You see, hey, it's me. Fail it, mouse clicks. Don't want this to go on too long, but go out here and go back over. I could have just teleported, but I'm a noob. Just detailed you the teleport system, and then I don't use it. Over here, we've got the teleporter, and you can see it doesn't have any options. Using the hidden choices, but let's see here. Yeah, here we go. And you can see now that I've turned those off. If those are off, then it shows these choices so that you can now teleport to these areas. And that's kind of the last thing for the fortress. I'm not going to teleport out because I don't have everything set up right for that, and it would just be really wonky. It would pull me into a storyline event or something, so I'm not going to teleport out of here. But I will show you how you do that. So let's jump into how we did all this. First thing, let's show you how we get the little characters to pop up. First thing you're going to need is a common event, and I call this the character battle check. You're going to set it to parallel, and you're going to have a switch that I turn this on at the beginning of the game. You can turn it on whenever you want to start, like the fortress, but I use this for a lot of different stuff, so I just have it running all the time. And all it is a series of script calls, and we'll jump into here. It's if gameActors.actor 1 is BattleMember, then it's going to set the value of gameSwitches, and this is the ID of your switch. This character, it's 161, so set that to true. Else, it's going to set it to false. And so it's just going to activate that switch, and that's the battle switch. It should just be battle and then that character's name. That's how I name it, but there's one of these for each character, and of course you want to use a different ID for the switch, and you want to use the IDs of your character and the IDs of your switches, but I have one of these for every single character that can join your party. At the moment it's like 13 characters that can actually fight in your party, but the actual character events themselves are really simple. You can see I've just got the mini label, the Yanfly mini label, and it's got the color code, and then the name of the actor ID number 2, and then puts the color code back, and then control variables so that he says different things, 1 to 5, so that he says 5 different things. Some of them have a balloon icon, but that's just talking. That's, you know, you can and you can do that at the event however you want. You can have them talk. You could have them, you know, Final Fantasy VI style, where they pop up and, you know, allow you to change party. How you handle the event page here for each character is completely up to you. So you can do a lot of neat stuff. I have characters that do other things, like you saw the bestiary character, etc., etc. But all of the switches have two different kinds. Basically, the characters that are with you when you get the fortress, they all get turned on by this bastion gain. You got the fortress, and so if you got the fortress, they'll show up. And the second page is up, unless you have the, you know, the battle switch from the common event that we were talking about earlier. So basically, that's just running in the background, and this event will just go back and forth depending on if they're in your battle party or not. If they're in your battle party, they won't show up, just, you know, empty event. If they're not in your battle party, then it'll default back to this page, and they'll do whatever you've got in this page. The other NPCs are, like I said, you know, you'll want them set up for their own switch for when you acquire that character. You know, these are characters that you got post, you know, post getting the fortress or whatever that you got later. And then, you know, same thing. Are they in battle? I run that, you know, battle check switch all the time. I also have it run in battle to check for a lot of stuff. You can use that. You use that for so much stuff. Seriously, it's an awesome event to have running in the background, just turning those switches on and off to see who's in the active, you know, first four party and who's not. If you like, even if you're not making a Suikoden style fortress, that little event is something that you can definitely use. And if anybody finds cool ways to use that, like, please let me know, because I'm sure that I have not found them all. For the shop NPCs, I don't want this video to go on too long. It's just basically, you know, they're just one page. Do you have them unlocked? Do you have that character? And then how you do the shop. I do all of my shops through a common event so that everything gets leveled. So that's why this looks kind of funny, and it has the, you know, it established. I use, you know, some different stuff. I've actually done a tutorial on this in another video, so I'm not going to go into all of that. But this is just really easy. Do you have them or not? Most of your work on the fortress is really just going to be mapping. You have that one common event running and a bunch of switches. You know, how you do the, you know, side quest or quests to get all these characters. That is, you know, completely up to you. You know, how you're designing your game. For the teleporters, I have all of that set up through common events. The same for the big teleporters. It's all common events. So let's go back in here, and here's the small teleporter that teleports you around the fortress, and it's just really easy. I use the Yanfly's, you know, large choices, set the choice row up to big so that you get the big list, and then have a bunch of choices just chained one right after the other with pretty much all the exact same thing. Just it's going to show your animation on your teleporter, show an animation on the player, and then teleport them wherever you need them to go with a fade of white, and then I'll leave the last option cancel. I also will notice up here I have the if teleporting active is on, because for my game I actually have this set up where you have to go find a character that, you know, to unlock this system. And so I have it on a conditional, and, you know, basically if you have that switches on, then it will open up the teleporting menu, and if not, it'll say, hey, maybe we can find someone that knows how to use these. And then just set the choice rows back to default. And then the world teleporter, not really going to go into this because it just uses the hidden choices, but that's all you're doing. Drifty has a tutorial on this. HimeWorks has the documentation, amazing, on their website. So yeah, check out those. This video has already gone on way too long. Just hiding the choices, and then just the exact same thing. Just this event teleporter, this event player, and transfer with a white fade, but it takes you out somewhere in the world. And the only other thing, I added a menu command that allows you to teleport back to the fortress, so that, and then you have a toggle to turn that on and off. But that's pretty much it. It seems really daunting to make something like this, but it's actually really easy. And with that common event running in the background all the time, it makes it really easy to display the NPCs, have them pop into and out of the area, but still retain them. If they're not in your party, yeah, they show up out in the world, but you can still look at their stats, you can still affect their gear, so on and so forth. It's way better than having to pull them all the way out of your party, or do some heavy workarounds with the if actor is party member or whatever. You can just run that one common event to check it, turn on the switches, easy peasy. But I think that's gonna do it for this tutorial, guys. As always, have a good one, and if you're gaming, may all your loots be fat.